I'm so excited to talk about today's topic, and these are going to be organizational hacks that you can apply to your art studio, craft room, office, your bead studio if you do jewelry. I'm going to start off by talking about sequins and glitter mix because these are really thin. And so, when you have a container like this, even though it has like individual compartments for it, there's kind of like two issues that I have with it that kind of takes away from my crafting time when I'm trying to fix everything. One, when you shift it, move it, or open it, sometimes all that little confetti sequence mix, it kind of goes all over the place, as you can see here. And maybe even sometimes it's operator's error.
Oh no!
And so it really takes a lot of time after you've mixed everything to kind of go back and take every little piece out and just kind of keep on fixing it. So I was like, this is not a storage solution for me anymore because I have way too many of these sequence mixes. So this is my new storage solution. My idea was to keep them single until they are ready to mingle. So we have individual bottles for each one of these. And if you've ever been into Michaels, that is pretty much my inspiration for this because Michaels pretty much for a really, really long time, many years, has created these selections of glitter and sequence mix, and they have kept the same bottle. And since I've collected so many of them over the years, it only made sense for me to continue on that little tradition, right? Each pack comes with 6 1-ounce bottles. It's $3.99. Sometimes you can catch a deal in store where it's buy one, get one 50% off. And if you really need a lot of it, I would highly recommend checking out their bulk buys, their pro buys online. It's very convenient because they'll mail it to your home. And it does come with a total of 72 bottles, and that's 12 packs of the 6 count for $31.20. I needed well over 200 bottles, and then I had to account for the ones that I already had. And so it was really an awkward number. And so I think I bought only one of the bulk buys, and the rest I bought in store. Some I paid full price for because, when you see it in stock, you just have to get it sometimes. I am filling the drawers that I bought from episode 2, and you can actually fit a total of 36 bottles, but it's a bit awkward up front because it's not a straight line, it's a bit curved. So I'm going to take those 4 bottles out and cap it at 32. Later on in the video, I will show you what I put right here to make it more functional and also to prevent all the bottles from shifting as you open and close the drawer. I love the look of this because everything is cohesive. Everything's the same. When you purchase your glitter, your sequence mixes, sometimes they all come in different types of styles of bottles and bags. And, the bottles are definitely reusable. Think about Happy Mail and, re-gifting your own sequence mixes in those type of things. I love this jar solution for so many reasons. One of them being, it fits perfectly with the drawer that I have. Number 2, the collection is very cohesive. So no matter where I buy my sequence mix from, whether it's the Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, AliExpress, I can just put it in these containers and it just has a really nice, clean, cohesive look to it. Number 3, I like it because I can actually see what I have now. Like instead of these little baggies, that are here and there and just kind of like stored everywhere in my craft room, put them all in one central location and find what I need. And it's less intimidating too. Sometimes when I have them in these other hard to open packaging, I think to myself, oh, that's going to be a lot of work if it spills, or I don't really want to clean it up right now. So it's really nice because I can just use a little spoon to take what I need out. And then also if I spill it, it's not going to go into a container that has other mixes in it. So definitely going to save time not having to rearrange everything. And again, visually, it's so fun to see like everything that I have in my collection. I think what I spent a lot of time on was trying to figure out how I wanted to organize all of these bottles. Like how could I find them faster? What type of like genres, subjects, titles, or labels I can put on it. And so I did. I actually labeled everything. And then when I was building everything up, I was realizing, that's not really feasible because I put the blue, the white, the silver together, and then I realized I have so much blue that my collection won't be able to grow if I put all 3 of those in there. So what I'm doing for now is just kind of like giving it a general idea of what I want to put in there. And like I said, this is kind of just like preliminary inventory before I do like the major tour. So when everything gets built up, you'll see if things have changed and whatnot. And that's another tip. I wouldn't actually put your main labels on here until you're actually done organizing everything, because I did print everything out and now I have to redo it, and I feel like I wasted a lot of my labels and it's kind of pricey, you know? So I was thinking I'm just going to wait until I finish organizing the rest of my craft room, because this isn't even the tip of the iceberg, you guys. This is probably like only 5% of my craft room right now, and I still haven't gone into my crafting closet to see all the other items that I picked up throughout the years. And so I have a feeling that my collection is definitely going to grow a lot bigger than what you see here. And so I am going to fill 12 of the drawers today. The other 6 drawers I'm actually going to hold off on until I finish organizing the rest of my craft room, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to run into a lot more like sequins and glitter mix. So this was actually kind of like round 1. And so this is how I kind of organized everything. I really thought that I would have like more of the pink and the purple, but as you can see, there are still so many more empty bottles, and you're probably thinking to yourself, why are you keeping those empty bottles? And basically the empty bottles are placeholders for all the things that you're going to buy in the future, because I know myself, I'm going to step into another craft store, I'm going to buy more things because I just do, and it's going to grow my collection. And instead of having to organize each and every time I buy something new, because that was one of the main issues I had, I think, in the past when I was kind of organizing my craft room. I was organizing my craft room based upon what my actual inventory in my craft room was. So if I had charms, I just bought enough for the charms that I had. If I had like cabochons, I bought enough containers for the cabochons that I had. I never really allotted for all the things I would buy in the future. So every time I bought a lot, I'd have to keep upgrading and redoing everything. So this is basically a placeholder for all the sequins I'm going to buy later on. So it all has a place in my craft room, and it all has a place to grow. This one is my pastel and party city. So pastel is basically anything that has kind of like that light, happy pastel like color. And then for the party city ones, those are the ones that I literally picked up from the store Party City. So those are a lot of the character goodies with the Hello Kitty and Cinderella and similar things like that. And I do have quite a lot of the metallic ones. I just call this the metallic confetti because it's all mixed and it doesn't have like those soft pastels like we saw earlier. And so I just put all of those in one area. I think maybe it's easier for me to base it upon color, because you know when you're doing a project, sometimes when you have a card, you kind of have a color scheme in mind. But you know you can break it up by occasion. It's all up to you. Do it in a way that makes sense to you for your particular craft room. I probably should have clarified this earlier, but I'm not actually labeling individual bottles. I just want to keep that clear, and I feel like I can see enough of it to know what it is. I'm just going to label the actual drawers into categories. So these are the categories that I have so far for these drawers, because these are the ones that fit on my table earlier. So that huge collection is not completed yet. So I still have these other 5 drawers, which I'm going to show you. So the next 2 are for my flat backs. You have like the resin flat backs, and then there's also the metallic backed flat backs, and there are probably better descriptive words for it. This is just actually what I put on there. So these are for the more dimensional types. So you have, again, the rhinestones, the resin flat back ones, and also one of my favorites are like the resin pieces. So these are not my cabochons. These are just kind of like the flat back resin pieces. I do have my cabochons in a separate container, which, you know, we'll definitely get to as well as all these videos start to progress. So slowly but surely I'm getting organized in my craft room. And these ones are, again, the metal back rhinestones or the silver metallic back rhinestones. I feel like I have a whole bunch of these because these are like readily available in pretty much all the different types of stores. And so I also do kind of at times separate the colors as well. So if I have a collection of all mixed ones, I'll separate certain colors that I use quite often, because that's just going to save me time in the long run. So I do have all the metallic back ones in here, but then when you look at it really closely, I have all the stars together in one area. I have all the hearts, the flowers, and then the circles. And then I moved on to some larger bottles, which you can also find at Michael's. So if you're at Michael's, or at least at my Michael's, you have like the whole glitter collection, and then down towards the bottom, that's where you'll find all of the bottles. So I bought the larger bottle for this one. These are sold in packs of 4, and these are the 5-ounce bottles. They are $3.99, or you can pick up the Michael's Pro Pack version of it, which comes with a total of 48 bottles. So you get 12 of the 4 pieces, and those are $31.20. I needed to buy 4 packs of these, and a total of 14 bottles could fit into one drawer. And then there's this little section right here, a little square, and that was completely perfect because you guys know that little, I don't know the actual technical term for it, it's that little static bag that you rub onto the acetate when you make shakers. So I put a little square container and it fit perfectly on here. The bottles house kind of like the larger pom-poms, and it has like the table scatter, some perler beads. This one also houses a lot of my original glitter, like the Martha Stewart collection, some of the older Recollections collection, and then you guys do see the ones in a tin, which are my favorite. Those are from Tuesday Morning. There's some micro bead glitter, glass glitter. So this one's really nice because I actually have 2 layers of like glitter items on here. So this one really did fit a whole lot just for one drawer. And then we have the Hobby Lobby one, which I'm sure you guys are very familiar with. I show it all the time on my Hobby Lobby hauls. So I was able to collect this one right here, and it just fit very perfectly all together in one. And there is a bit of a do-it-yourself element in all of this. So in order for me to get all of my boxes or all of my glitter not to shift when I open the drawers, I actually use a little roll from the parchment paper that you can get at Costco. And then I cut that down to size. And then I just take some cut-right or wax paper because it's less expensive than the parchment paper. And I cut a few of those out so that I could just use as a little mat for when I'm using all of my glitter. I take a rubber band, a few spoons, and so I have everything in one place. When I'm doing my sequence mix or my glitter, I have my mat, my spoon, and everything just works together. So these are like the 12 labels that I might put on the drawers. Again, I'm going to wait until I actually find all of my sequence mix. And if you need to look at it a little bit longer, don't forget to go ahead and just hit that pause button. And then in terms of price, this particular episode, we're looking at around $157. That's for the 250 plus bottles, the wax paper, and the little spoons. Episodes 1 through 4 is around $536, and I do plan on making more organization videos on Wednesdays until I can actually have my craft room nice, beautiful, and organized. So stay tuned for those, and if you're feeling the vibe, please don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell. That'll notify you of all of my new videos. I thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful day.